Aloha everyone, this is Leimomi Keliikuli Intuitive Soul Alignment Coach here, and I wanted to share with my audience just really how to achieve your quarterly goals, and I wanted to show you from a very different perspective. So if you're listening on in, just say hello, just so I know that you're here, and I will kind of jump in very quickly my perspective of how to do this. So first of all, I will introduce myself. I'm an intuitive soul alignment coach, and I basically help my clients to up-level themselves with ease and flow by actually looking up them in their Akashic records and their unique energetic blueprint. Once I find what their blueprint is, then we kind of work backwards, basically, like looking at what your soul is, finding the exact kind of business model that's aligned to you. And then we work on, clearing any of those invisible soul level blocks that may be restricting you. And then going really deep down into the marketing, into the strategy and everything else that comes with, running your business. So if you're just jumping on in, again, just say hi. And also I will, share with you about how this is in regards to, really growing your business very quickly. So if you have a sheet of paper or you just have something to write on that's kind of big enough, I would like you to, write these key things down. So first of all, what I want to share is that actually one of the most important things is that your soul is a type of energy, it's an energetic quality. And so everything that you do in your life and your business needs to be aligned to that energetic quality. So the more you create like systems and structures and all of these different usual things in your life and your business, it's going to make it much more easier for you in record time, right? But the first thing you need to know is that the most important thing is knowing your quarterly goals. Whenever, and what I mean by quarterly, like, thinking about every 3 months, like what you want to create, what are you going to focus on, what is the next thing. And if you're doing that, it's going to actually help you move momentum in your business faster. So many people ask me, like, how do I get so much amazing things done, even in just 1 year? And this is my secret. So I'm going to actually tell you how to do this on your own. So if you're listening to the replay or, you're just, catching this live, I hope that this really helps you. And if you really like this, please do share it with your, on your page too. So the first thing you need to know is that within 30, 60, 90 days, you really need to get clarity about the income goals, the energetic experience that you want to create over that time frame, because just those two major things, right, is going to actually create bigger momentum if you're clear about the number or the amount of people that you want to touch, all of that, right? So, and it really depends on your business, okay? It really depends on your business model. If you're product-based or you're, program and service-based, it really depends, right? So, but I'm really talking about if you're kind of service-based, you do have to really know what is the number that you want to achieve, what is the energy behind the experience that you want to experience, right? And how is that directly related to the way your soul is designed, right? Which, by the way, that's your blueprints, and that's what I can help you to fine-tune your niche and everything by knowing what you are at soul level. And I call that soul alignment. So, so you really need to connect with the energy is the most important of what you want to experience. That's the first step. So if you have your piece of paper, write this down, because I'm going to kind of quickly go through the 5 steps of how to do this. Okay. So how you can achieve your quarterly goals, right, in record time, and why you need to know this first, okay, and then like take this time to really get deep into what your goals are going to become, because the energy behind what you're doing is way more important than any of the other strategy and stuff like that, okay? So that's the first step. Again, is connect with the energy behind what you are wanting to experience, what you're really offering out there. So like, let's say, you know, in the next 3 months, I want to experience more connection with people. Maybe the word is connection. So what would that entail over the next 3 months? Well, obviously I'll be reaching out to people. Maybe I'll do some JV partnership. Maybe I'll be doing affiliate marketing, you know, getting affiliates that helps me in my launch. You know, all the different things that I think is necessary that would resonate to the energy of connection, right? So then everything that I do in that 3 months, in those 90 days, are going to be based upon that type of energy, right? And the more you take actions towards that, the easier it will become for you to, you know, really, really create the income and everything else that comes with it. So think about, what is that one energetic quality that you want to experience over that quarter. And so you can actually, you know, write it, get it on a piece of paper. And I actually kind of wrote mine down here in one of my journals. So I have this really big journal. It's more than, I think it's bigger than a piece of paper, but something that's like big enough that you can write all your goals in. It's so important to have a big journal, or a thing where you write everything about your goals or your things that you want to do out there. So what I have done is that I've kind of broken down my quarterly goals accordingly, and I kind of just made these quadrants here. You can see it's just these quadrants, and I write down a list of each and every part of, you know, things that I want to accomplish per the month, right? I mean, per the quarter. So that's why there's 4 quarters, right, in the year. So I made 4 of them, and then I also, you know, wrote down my amount of money that I wanted to make during that time frame, and per the month, and per those three months, right, in each quarter. And when you have this in front of you, it's so much more easier to operate, because usually people, even though you make a whole year plan, like, you know, I also have that one too, which is, and by the way, I mind map all the time, and mind mapping is the best thing you can do. You know, I even have my 6-month plan here, which is like, you know, breaking it down into 6 quadrants here. So everything that I want to achieve within that time frame, I put it all down so I can see it visually. And at first it's just going to be a random list, which is fine. You know, make a list of everything that you want to achieve in the 6 months. Okay. You can also make, and I call this like my marketing plan, right? Then you can also make them all the way 12 months. So you've got, right, four rows of, you know, 3 quadrants right there. So you have 12, and you just write the month for each quadrant, and you're just writing down all the different things that you want to experience. But the first thing that you need to be clear about is more about what you want to experience that month, or every month, or every 6 months, or every every 3 months, because then you're going to be acting upon it, and it's much more easier for you to be in that flow, because it's obviously right there on your piece of paper, right? And so what you do is you just pretty much check whether you're doing that or not. And that's actually how I get so much done very fast, is I constantly remap this so that I'm making sure that I'm on target. And I can tell you, I probably map my goals like pretty much like every 2 weeks, or every week, to kind of reevaluate whether I kind of want that or not. So having it, you know, in a big journal like this, you can always go back and remap everything of what your goals is, because, you know, when you have that all written out in front of you, you'll be more likely to achieve that. Okay. So on your piece of paper, what you can do is like that, right? Make a quadrant of 4, and then just, you know, from January, March, then to, you know, April and June, to July, September, all the way to October and December. You know, just like make these quadrants so you can see what you actually want to experience within that certain period of time, right? Each quarter. And when you write that out, it's going to make it so much easier to take action towards. So let's see, like when I actually wrote it all down, maybe in the beginning I have everything all bunched up, right, in the first quarter and the second quarter. And then later on during the year, you realize like, oh, that's just way too much. I gotta like put them in the second or the third or the fourth quarter, not in the all in the first quarter, right? So it's this like constant reevaluation that you need to do in order to really get that much clarity, right? So, but you really, really need to connect with the energy behind what you want to experience each of those quarters, each of those months, right? And overall on the whole year. So once you're really clear about that, then you can start working, okay? So like I said, you can make those quadrants and you write out what you want. Write out the experience that you want, right? And you just brain dump it, like put everything on the paper, and you're gonna be surprised on like how much stuff like you really, really do want to achieve. And people who really procrastinate or really, don't really follow along their their paperwork here is totally fine. But you just want to make it a habit to at least do it like every month or every 2 weeks. Because whatever you do achieve during a time frame, you realize it takes more effort or more time, right? So, brain dump it, write it all out. Then next, number 3 is you want to categorize, right, it according to the main things that you want. The main things you want to experience, and then kind of like in a timeline. So this is what I was talking about, right? I've got it all in a timeline. So within first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, I'm making sure that I'm achieving 8 of these things in my second quarter, 6 of these things in my first quarter, 4 things in my third quarter, and 5 things in my fourth quarter. And I've got all the amounts of money that I want to receive in the transformation, right? So that then I shouldn't miss those numbers. I should really focus on those numbers to be achieved. And then you've got your goals, your monthly goals per quarter. Some people, they make 10K one month. Some people, they make only 5K in another month, right? So, but what's more important is you're clear about, okay, what is the whole amount that you want to actually have within that quarter, okay? So once you've categorized it, you kind of put it in a timeline like what I just said. Then the 4th thing is you want to start to delegate those tasks to your team, or hire people and outsource certain things that that it's just something that you just have to do, that you need help with. Because the truth is, even though we say we're solopreneurs, we actually have so much more support than we think. Whether it's like your husband put up your website, or your friends, posted some stuff in your Facebook page, which you're not really good at posting or stuff like that. There are people around you, and you can ask for help. So this is the 4th thing, is ask for help. Delegate it. Ask for help. And you will be surprised on how people really, really can help you. But if you don't say anything, they're not going to know, right? So you have to be really truthful to yourself and see, well, what is it that I truly want to create that experience, and how can I be supported? Okay. So that's the 4th thing, right? Delegate it. Hand it over to your team. And then most of that time, what you are doing is you're just focusing on how you're going to market this, how you're going to get it out there, how are people going to know about what you're putting out there. If you got a new program or a new package, 80% of the time you should be spending on marketing your stuff. I see most of the people spend more time on making their content, or doing admin tasks or stuff like that in the background, and then they wonder why they don't get any money. It's because they're spending too much time doing all the other things that aren't really necessarily money-making activities, right? Things that are going to create monetary means from the transformation of what you give, right? So spend that time marketing. This is why you see me get on my TV show here over and over again, because that's how I market. I talk directly to my audience. I give value. And so people are like, yeah, I definitely need to know more about what she does, right? The more people see you, the more likely they would want to buy from you. But what we're usually doing is just, posting here, like promo posts, posting in other people's Facebook groups, or just promo posting on your page. That doesn't mean that people are going to see it. You actually have to show up in front of your audience like 80% of the time. So if you haven't really been engaging with your audience or showing them, they're more likely not to, follow you or buy from you. Okay. So that's the fourth thing, right? Delegate it, ask for help, outsource it, whatever is necessary to make it move faster, right? Like, I'm going to write my book. I obviously going to need a book editor, or, somebody who can help me with writing it all down, transcribing all my videos and all these different things. Because once you know what is the quarterly goals, or what are the things that you want to achieve in that certain period of time, then your actions is just like, yeah, I'm just doing that. That's going to take, 5 different steps, or, 3 different steps for something else. And then you can also give it and outsource it, right? So that's the fourth thing. Then the fifth thing is every day take soul line action towards those specific things. Okay. So like for my quarterly goals, I'll just give you an example. My quarterly goals is, get my website to be completely moved over into a new membership site, because I need to move over what I already have, right now, and I'm finding that I need more capabilities in my membership site. So I have to move all of that over. So I have my team doing that for me. So the focus is getting the new WordPress site done by, the end of January, and for sure everything all done in, February, right? So I have my copywriting being done, and then also having all of that all in the background, having my web designer to set up all the basics after she's got the copy, and then my OBM who's going to set up all the membership sites, right? The background of it to make it functional. So every day I'm always, thinking about that in the background, and I'm asking my team, like, where do they need help? What do they need from me that I, need to provide? And that's a very important goal. And so within a certain time period, I know this needs to get done, right? Second thing is my interview, this LeimomiTV, getting all of these interviews all done, and setting all of that sequence and all of that stuff. So every day I'm thinking about, well, how can I provide more value to my TV show here, for myself and my own self-expression, but also how is this going to help in a bigger scale of my connection with other people. So I'm constantly talking to other people who might be interested in, really helping my audience too. So of course I put it out there, and I got a lot of people that applied for my LeimomiTV. So, but I did the most important action, and I'm doing it every single day. I'm thinking about what exactly I need to do that is a bigger vision, right? My bigger vision quarterly goals. And then I just every day take action towards one part of it, right? Then the next one is I need to get my affiliates all set up, the affiliate links all set up, which actually coincides with my website, and the development of that and the membership site, which my OBM is working on, right? Then I'm creating a summit, Mastering Your Soul's Gift Summit, which will, I'm just talking freely with you guys so you know what it really looks like to run your business in so many different aspects. So my big goal, right, is about connection, about creating these connections with people. And to me, that is creating JV partnerships, affiliates, so that I can really launch my new program, which is the Mastering Your Soul's Gifts program. It's a 10-month journey. So, so then I'm reaching out to, guest speakers. And then I have a goal of creating at least 5,000 people on my list, on my email list, so that the summit will bring more awareness about not just only the subject, but for my audience to get the most value, right? Because my energy of what I'm connecting to is that connection. So how can I give more value and connection to my people, to my tribe, right? To the people who are going to JV partner with me, or all of that. I'm doing everything every day connecting with those goals, right? Getting on media opportunities. I have an exact goal of like how many places I want to get into other media opportunities, right? And I actually mark it down when I have all of them. And then, starting the Maui Light Collective, which is I'm going to start to create workshops and retreats over this next year here locally for me, okay? So you see, that's like 6 different goals. But within that quarter, I know I'm going to achieve that, including my goal of, the monthly goal, the 90 days, right? Within that 90 days of what that want to experience. So this is what I want you to write down on your paper. Like, think about what are the major goals for each quarter that you know you want to achieve within that time period. And how does that coincide with the second quarter, the third quarter, and the fourth quarter? Because you can have all of this long list to do, but if you don't have it very clearly what you're going to do each quarter, you're going to end up trying to do, the second quarter, right, stuff, rather than really focusing on the first quarter. And this is why people fail in moving momentum in their businesses, because they're focusing on maybe the third or the fourth quarter type of goals, which it's better to just only focus on the 1 or the 2, right, the first or the second quarter, and including the money goals, right? So that's what I want you to do, is write that on your paper, okay? So first, connect with the energy, right, of what exactly you want to experience over each quarter, each month, each quarter, each, what did I say, 6 months, a year. What are the energetic quality that you want to focus on? So that every day you're showing up and you're doing that action towards it, right? Then you want to write down, right, like write out all of what you want to experience, like what I just showed you, right? And do a brain dump, everything all written out. And at first it's just going to be like all over the place. You're going to be like, oh, I've got like this, like 30 different goals. But then after that, that's how you categorize them. You want to categorize them according to the main things that you want to experience, and then kind of like in order of a timeline. Then you're going to start to see what I'm just showing you right now, these quarterly goals, right? The fourth thing is then start to delegate. Start to think about all the different ways you can outsource this, and get help from other people. It could even be your neighbor. It could be, somebody could offer something for you and you never know. But if you don't have it in your mind, you won't be able to manifest it or create it, right? And then most of the time, you yourself, okay, is you are focusing on marketing. Everything else is just delegated. You do each part of what you need to do every day, right? What you usually need to do. But most of the time, you should be marketing what you offer. And if you're not doing that regularly, this is why you're not achieving your money goals, and why people are not really showing up in front of you regularly and being your really, really good audience, because your audience is who you're serving. This is who you're giving value to, right? So once you know where all this delegation is and how many times a day, like for me, I always think once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once in the evening, I'm figuring out different ways I'm marketing, whether it is, talking to people in PM messaging, right? Like correspondence, or it could be, I'm talking about marketing, or it could be here. I have it on my LeimomiTV show, right? I do this regularly, every day, a certain amount of times per week. I have my value posts, all the things that I, share from a different perspective of how they can, get educated about how they can get into this soul alignment, right? Right. And then the last thing is the fifth one, which is most important, is really, really come from the place of what is that soul line action that's going to allow you to do this daily and weekly and monthly and yearly. Because even if you have a big goal, you can't achieve all those goals once a day, right? You need to do bits and pieces of it. And when you've got this listed, I'm telling you, when you've got this listed, you cannot miss your goals. Like, it's almost like impossible unless you're not looking at the piece of paper. Because it's right there. You've got 6 things, and I've got 6 things I want to achieve the first quarter, 8 things I want to achieve the second quarter, 4 things I want to do the third, and 5 things I want to do in the fourth quarter. And then I've got my goals of the amount of money that I want to receive within that time period of my quarterly experiences, right? And also monthly. So then I just focus, I just got to make sure I achieve that number per month, per quarter. And then when you look at it and you add it all up in the whole year, wow, I make that much amount of money in a year, right? So if we don't take the time to really see it from that perspective, it's kind of hard to duplicate it over and over again. So this is the kind of stuff that I do. And I'm organic, so whatever I feel like, rewriting it, I do, because it doesn't always end up the same way that I expected, but I'm open to creating a structure that I can continuously do it, right? So if you guys have any questions, you can, of course, ask me. So that's the 5 ways that if you do it step by step, it's going to allow you to achieve your goals in record time, okay? So that's your homework, right? Your homework is to go make your piece of paper like that, right? With the quadrants, with your goals, your quarterly goals, and then, really, really set it in your calendar. I have it manually on my wall, and I also have it in my Google at the same time too. What do you call it? Not Google. Google Calendar and my online scheduler. I have it all there. So if I miss it, well, then it's my fault, right? Like, I didn't do it. Hi, Trisma. So any last things? Because that's what I want to share, for right now. I think I'm probably going to share about a different topic, maybe in the next hour. But I just wanted to share about this because I realized that this exercise really, really helped me, and I wanted to talk about it from this more strategic way. And then I can talk about all the other spiritual stuff in like in an hour or so. So, all right. Well, anyway, if this helped you, please do share it with your, with your audience. You can share this, and also, this was very helpful. Oh, thank you, Lamora. I'm glad it's helpful for you. Totally. Like, if you really, really want to achieve what you want to achieve in record time, it's for sure you need to have this all written out. So yeah, if you aren't in my Facebook group, join my Soul Alignment Leaders for Conscious Living Facebook group. You can look that up on my business page, or you can go to bit.ly/being a low key, and that's going to take you to my Facebook group to join in. And what else? Oh, and then I have my quiz. It's directly on top of it's a Divine Business Gifts quiz. It tells you exactly what your soul's gifts is, and how that can help you to, monetize your gifts. And so yeah, you can go to my website at www.LeimomiKeliikuli.com, and on there's all my programming services and anything else that I can help you with. So anyway, well, I hope that this was helpful, that this got you to be thinking bigger in another way. And if you just jumped on in, then watch the replay, because I was just sharing a bit more about all the different things of how you can, the 5 ways that you can do all of this and achieve your quarterly goals in record time. So anyway, we have a beautiful day. Aloha.